Hey.
Like Us Live Holiday Special. Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, we're here.
We're here. I
um,
For the holiday special, we typically say, Megan like us. But I think because it's the holidays, I think we have to say, we wish you were very like us. We wished you were very like us.
that's how you feel?
We wish you were very like us. And a
And
happy
a happy Goo Year.
Goo Year. Goo Year cheese.
Goo Year cheese. That shit makes me so laugh. In the next episode that's coming out, I made sure that ended up in the cut of the when we do the top of the show because I was like, I that face kills me, and even when I cut it last night, I was or like a couple nights ago, I was still laughing.
I was I thought the Gruyere was suspect. And then in this holiday special, Gruyere cheese does come up, and Megan says it is her favorite type of cheese, which I have two things to say about that, and then we'll get into it. But one is like I always think of She's the Man. And she's like, "What's your favorite type of cheese?" My favorite's Gouda. Amanda Bynes, love you forever.
Well,
Uh,
hold on. Before we get started, I think that we have a little bit of a tech thing, so let's have a little small reset.
okay.
Hello, everyone. Let me see if we're actually even being.
From YouTube, we're live and it looks great.
Oh, we are live. Great. It
Yeah.
won't show on my side.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we're
Well,
good.
thank you, everyone who's here, or anyone's joined us. We're so excited to talk about the special. Basically, as soon as we saw that this was going to be a thing, we said we have to talk about it immediately. We don't have time to get on the red couch, on the green couch. So we're on our own couches today, and we got to talk about this special. So we are going to do just that. Let us know if you have questions or if you have comments, or if there's anything funny you want to add to the conversation. Just
Or
some comments.
if you haven't seen the special yet, don't worry because we're gonna go through it play by play. But
Play by play.
also, if you have seen the special, make sure to just like let us know what your favorite parts were. Let us know where you're calling in from, where you're watching from. We're really excited to have you and to do a version of Like Us Live, which is this is for the first time ever. So we're really excited for that.
Yeah, we're doing a full run through. We've been doing a little lives to kind of chat and make some community. But today it's a full episode. So, and we get a little bit longer than we normally do to talk about it. So that's exciting.
And Mina
Um,
Ruth is already in the chat. Hi, Mina. Thanks for joining. We're glad you
Hi,
could be here.
Mina. Did you get to watch the special, Mina? Let us know in the chat. I want to hear from you and let us know.
I woke up early this morning to watch. So, like us, Megan lives in California, but right
Yeah,
now I am not in California. And so I didn't realize that when you're on the East Coast, when things drop at midnight in the
it's
West
3
Coast, it's
a.m.
really until 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, and also watching sports is very different. West Coast to East Coast. The games run very late. Sunday night football is very, very late if you are watching football on the East Coast. So um we love and accept all people, but the West Coast is the most like me. I'm learning.
You like the time. It's
And
so
the
funny
timing is
because
good for TV.
during the World Series this year, bringing up the Dodgers again as usual, when they were playing the Toronto Blue Jays, and they're also, on the other coast. And so when that game ended, I think it was like 2 a.m. or something like that. It was so late. I was like,
It's
I can't
crazy.
imagine. And meanwhile, it was late in California, but it was like 11:30 here, like that was
Mind you,
a
these
little
things are
extra.
happening on school nights. Like people have work the next day. and these sports are going on forever. I understand why when like the Academy Awards is happening, they're like wrap it up with the speeches. Like everyone's not staying up late at night. We're losing viewers every time you go over 15
The Academy
seconds.
Awards, the Academy Awards is like cut down just because people have to go to school tomorrow.
Yeah, like they're like, we don't have time for this.
I remember, I think it was Quinta when she won her Emmy. We'll get back into the show in just a second, but when Quinta won her Emmy, she was like, yeah, no, I have to work tomorrow. So
Literally
like
that. Literally that.
this is the best it's gonna get tonight for me.
But guess what? It's the holidays and there is
It's
no
the
working
holidays.
because we are getting in the holiday mindset where you're off work, you're spending time with family. And, just to get into the traditions of the holidays, Danny, do you have any in particular that's come to mind to you? I know I have a few.
Okay, so my favorite holiday tradition that we do in my family is we do karaoke. Aaron's part of it as well, obviously. We always have karaoke at the end of the night. It is one of my absolute favorite things about Christmas. But then outside of that, I would have to say, like, I love that my in-laws get together on Christmas Eve. I think that that's a cool tradition, and I'm going to continue to upkeep that as like I grow my family or whatever. I also like I'm like you. I also love like the music from growing up, singing like "Must Be Christmas" and like seeing that and singing it, and then performing. When you're like in junior high, the Christmas songs, and so like that was. You're right. That is the music is definitely a highlight of the holiday.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like, I feel like the K through 8 school Christmas tradition, you just do those yearly songs and then you actually learn them later. And I feel like whenever I hear like some Christmas jingles, I want to pull out my like show choir choreography from 8th grade. I feel like I'm like, give me a candy cane to be my cane, give me
Top
a
hat.
top hat. I'm
That's so good.
ready to do a Christmas medley at any given time. I also like when I think about our family Christmas traditions. One when we were little of listening to Kenny G when we like do the Christmas tree and
Can
have
you do
some
Christmas? Yeah.
great Kenny G throw on that album, him like absolutely killing it with a saxophone and just so good. That feels like nostalgia, 90s
You know
nostalgia to
what I would
me.
love to get a data pull on is how many albums that has sold. Like, I want to know the exact number of how many Christmas Kenny G albums. That has
I
to be
bet
his
you it's
best
up
selling album.
there. No, I know
It
it's
has to
not
be his
number
best selling album.
one
Yeah.
because I think the best selling, I guess maybe
No, no,
they
no.
consider
His. Like,
it.
I think it's no, no. I'm talking about his. I think that might be his number one album.
Oh, I would imagine that's his number one. I was going to
Yeah,
say
I would.
the Preacher's Wife is one of the best selling, but I think they
Oh,
consider it a gospel album instead of actually like a holiday
a
album.
soundtrack
But that has
or a
some really
holiday
good
album. Yeah.
holiday songs on it. And then I would say my last like new Christmas memory is that we started doing Disneyland with our cousins around the holidays, and that is such a special like time for all of us to get together without the grown-ups and just like
Yeah.
be at Disneyland, which is one a very California Christmas to do is to be at Disneyland, but two having just like time where when they made the park all festive, there's lights everywhere, and with family, it's kind of the best of everything. So that's one of my favorite new traditions.
Yes, Disneyland with the cousins has been the best end of the year tradition that we've started. Like, honestly, in our 30s, we started this recently, very recently. But it's been a really good chance to like check in, and it's a long hangout. So it's like, okay, I haven't seen them all year. If we haven't got to catch up intimately, then like let's all just be at Disneyland for 12 hours or 18 hours and spend the night, and we'll catch up real fast. And it is a good way to spend time. And I think Megan really talks about a lot about connection in this episode. She really highlights the importance of that through these holiday activities and foods. And she always makes a point to acknowledge where the connection can happen within the activity.
Yeah,
So,
I loved that in the holiday special. So now that we've talked about traditions, Mina says that the holiday special was so good she's going to watch it again. I probably will too.
well,
And if there's any holiday traditions that you guys want to share, drop them in the chat. And let's get into this. What made this holiday special so special, Danny?
yeah, let's do it. All right. So this episode, let me tell you who is on this episode, as I normally do. So we got Naomi Osaka, tennis champ. We have Tom Kalicki, hospitality expert, or Chef Tom Kalicki, sorry, hospitality expert Will Guiadara, who is actually the husband of Christina Tosi of Milk. This episode is honestly just really jam-packed with people and some of Megan's friends, like Kelly, who is a former model, advocate for children. and Lindsay Jill Roth, who is an author and Megan's bestie from college. And since I'm here, I might as well tell you what we're going to do this episode. And they eat, they drink, they kiss, and they make stuff.
I mean, let's take it one step at a time. But you know that we love to keep it sporty around here. And we don't have our whistle because we're doing this live, but we keep it sporty. And we're going to get into the play-by-play. So this is the play-by-play for With Love, Megan, the Christmas special, the holiday special. So we kick off this episode and Megan is at the Christmas farm and the Beach Boys are playing. And it really does feel like such a California Christmas nod. One, because it's sunny outside. There's no snow on the ground. Like, if you're a Californian buying a Christmas tree, it's probably happening in some sunshine. And that's what Megan's doing. And she picks a tree and then she shows us how she's going to decorate it. And when she, like, what I noticed instantly is when we get back into the house and she's talking about how she lights the tree, I was thinking, like, why is she lighting this tree? And then I realized, like, oh, I'm a pre-lit faux tree girl. Like, I have not bought a real Christmas tree since I was a little kid. And so, like, the fact that she was giving these tips on lighting a tree, I'm like, I don't even know if you have to do all that. Like, you could just buy the tree pre-lit, but if you want the, like, and by the way, to get the smell, I buy the little sticks and then I hook them behind. So then the tree smells like a real tree.
That's a good call.
But then I'm not killing nature. No offense.
Well, and also you're not gonna. The reason why our family stopped buying
I get allergic. I'm allergic
we're all
to the real
allergic.
trees.
Our whole family's like.
Yeah, so like I'm not trying to get hay fever
We
right
had to
before
throw out
Christmas.
a Christmas tree one year, Erin. We threw it out like that morning. Like it was like Christmas, and then we threw it out because we were like,
everyone's itching,
looking like
whatever.
shit.
So if you're a real tree person, the tip that Megan gives, light the tree from the inside out so that the light shines through. But what I really appreciated about this moment is that Megan says that, and this was a like us for me, but just Christmas trees are part of your family story. And I could not agree more, especially when you see the special little ornaments that you collect over the years. Like, obviously, there's a version of the Instagrammable Pinterest board. The tree is perfect. All of the ornaments match. But there's actually something really special about just having a tree that has like baby's first Christmas, the ornament that your kid made in the 3rd grade. Like, that's what our family tree looks like. And I feel like that is so much of like what creates your kind of seeing year to year how that tree can evolve. Like, even in my new family with my husband, like we have a ornament for our doggy, and then we have like when we were engaged, and one when I went to the White House. And it's just like collecting that lore that lives on your tree that you get to see at the end of the year when it is a time of reflection is so special. So I felt like Megan kind of making a nod to that and not being like your tree needs to be perfect, but more so how can you tell the story of your family through a Christmas tree was a huge like us right off the bat.
I had notes on this section. I agree. Telling the story through your tree is beautiful. I love that. But also the woman who was taking Megan around to look at the trees, she was like, girl, and like I literally paused and I was like, too casual. I don't like that. Don't talk to Megan like that. Don't call her girl. I don't like that.
Don't call me girl. I'm not your sister. Like Megan the Stallion. Like exactly. Megan the Stallion popped out.
So that was all I had on that section.
I would like to think that Megan, the Duchess of Sussex,
she's so warm and is fine with it. But like, that doesn't
I
mean
want
I
her
have
to be listening to Meg the Stallion, and I hope she got into the car and was played exactly that song after. That would be a like us. Okay,
so then Megan starts making this advent calendar, right?
Yes, that's exactly right. So we get into her making an advent calendar for Archie and Lilibet, and she says that the reason why
Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet.
and Princess Lilibet of Sussex. The Prince and Princess.
Yeah, I like that.
But she says that they really like her hope is to make holiday magic every single day leading up to December 24th. And so an advent calendar is a good way to do that. I don't really feel connections to advent calendars personally.
It feels like a new thing, like how
Elf on the Shelf
is like a totally new thing. And it's like, I don't know. I think it's cute. Like my friends have them and family has them. And like, I love to like catch on with the lore with their, like when they share pictures or like where the elf was that day. Like I enjoy that. But I don't think I'm gonna really do that one if I have a family. Like I think that one is a little bit. It's feeling a little too new school. You know, call me
Yeah,
old.
Elf on the Shelf started in 2005. I did a deep dive the
Oh
other day
no,
because I was
I've
curious.
had full debates about this because I'm like, this was a new thing, and in 2005, I was like still kind of young, but like still, I knew I would know if it was existed. You know what I
But
mean?
the cute story about Elf on the Shelf is that it's a mom and her two daughters based off of their own family history. And then one of the daughters worked in marketing. And so when they wrote this book, the daughter who worked in marketing really was able to like send it off. And now they've made like $100 million.
Oh no,
So
I don't. I believe it. I
they're
believe
printing
it.
they're printing
Honestly,
money with Elf on the Shelf. They've extracted that IP. They said we have a plan and they went for it.
I love this for them.
Yeah. So
Goals.
anyways, Megan makes advent calendars, and in her advent calendar, she doesn't do toys. She does little notes and little like sweet things to say. And I actually like that as a concept because like she's just like, oh, I think she was saying stuff like you're kind and you're brave and just really nice messages.
Yeah,
And I felt like
it
that's
was
a
very
really
cute.
sweet thing to get each day. It was less about like the gift of it all. And I felt like that was really sweet. So we transition from the activity room into the kitchen, and we start with the kitchen board, which I think Megan's idea of this episode was going to be called "Tis the Seasoning" because that's what she wrote on the board. But they went with the holiday special instead. But "Tis the Seasoning." So now we're in the kitchen, and the author of Unreasonable Hospitality, Will Garda, is coming. And as you said, Danny, he's Christina Tosi's husband. And
Wasn't he
Megan,
so charming
he
and
was so
just
precious. He was
I
precious.
I think that I became a fan. I was like, I don't even know this guy, and I need to read the book, and I need to find out who he is, and like, we already have been going to his wife's restaurants and places for years. Milk is super popular here in LA and always has been. Um, but like this was an unexpected friend that we met through the show.
Totally. And they had such a warm greeting. And Megan is making him gujar, which is cacio e pepe flavored because he loves cacio e pepe. And I love that she goes, it
Oh
would be a
yeah,
bit much to make him cacio e pepe, but let's make something that's that flavor. Which, by the way, I don't know if it's ever too much to ever make cacio e pepe. That is my favorite pasta. I literally had
it's
it
so
last night
good.
for dinner. I had it last night. And then, of course, as Megan's making gujar, we get a classic corny Megan joke. She says, this looks like fondue, and you never hear someone say fondue. And she wouldn't be her if she didn't drop a classic dad/mom joke. But the gougere is made with cheese and pepper, and then she pipes it on the baking sheet. And her and the cameraman go back and forth about because she's like, I'm gonna dab that gougere, and he said that's what the kids say, and she's like dabbing that gougere, and she like says it in this to me, it felt like the first time we heard Megan's real voice. Like it was like truly such an LA accent and I think when people think of an LA accent, they actually sometimes think of like Valley Girls, like Clueless or the Kardashians. But what actually is a different form of a regional LA
We have,
accent.
well, I think what's fair to say is that Southern
It's
California has
regional.
many accents in the region.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
many accents. There are definitely more popular characters, right?
Sure. Absolutely. But I think that in the last year, like I would argue like DJ Mustard and like Kendrick Lamar have really emerged even more so than they already had. And like that's an accent that would probably exist within their community that we hear Megan say dabbing that gougere with. And it's specifically this like hard R that like reminded me of like some of our cousins. And I was like, oh Megan, like where are you? Like this is okay, this is LA Megan talking right now, talking about dabbing that gougere. It was just a funny little
You
bit.
know, she had a little spice on it.
There
It's
was a
natural
little
for
spice
her.
on it.
It's natural for her. Let her live.
I
Uh,
liked it. I liked it.
it
And
was
then
very cute.
she goes from dabbing that gougere into making reindeer chow. And reindeer
Yes.
chow is just like a version of puppy chow that she said she's been making since elementary school. And it does have a lot of sugar in it. And at first she's like, oh, it's kind of a lot of sugar, but it does kind of equal itself out later on. And it reminded me, I'm like, how come I'm not making like I clocked that in the back of my head. I'm like, I need to start making reindeer chow, puppy chow. Like that feels like such an easy gift if you were to put it in.
Yeah.
She puts it in a jar for Will to take home, but that's something if you got cute little plastic baggies, you wrap them really nicely with the bow.
Yeah, it'd be
And
cute.
it felt like, even though that's not a like me, but it was like an aspirational like me.
I think like
reindeer
an
cow.
aside that we could take from here is like really like most of these activities that Megan is covering and has showed on the show are very cost effective, including like the crackers, which we'll talk about in a bit, but like it's essentially like a toilet paper roll. And I think like, I mean, even the Grugier, I'm not really great at saying it because it's my first time actually knowing about this. I'm not into bread and I'm not
Totally.
into cheese as much. So like this is out of my thing. But I did look into another non sequitur about like what are foods that are similar to this that are a part of different diasporas. And essentially they said this equivalent in America would be our Cheddar Bay biscuit. So imagine a cacio e pepe Cheddar Bay biscuit. And again, like there are differences in the preparation method, but essentially, these are just like small cheesy breads, that she was making before.
I
But
love
again,
that.
what I'm trying to say is that like everything is really cost effective. I think she ended up making that with just one stick of butter, a couple handfuls of cheese. And this advent calendar might be expensive, but I feel like there might be a way to create this.
Well, she
Maybe
did
even
it in a
using like
way that was really inexpensive. A handwritten note
a
is
little
super
flap.
cheap. And in the chat,
Yeah.
Aisha said that she did chocolate advent calendars when she was growing up. So even a
Oh,
little piece of chocolate, like that's also not a very expensive little daily treat to have over the holidays.
that's great.
We also have more notes in the chat where Fallon is saying, if you don't blast All I Want for Christmas, is it Holidays Without Mariah Carey? And that is so true.
Factual.
That is a tradition, and it
The
should
best
stand.
songs. Okay, so my husband's best favorite Christmas song, I think, actually should be everyone's. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. He
I like
always
that
plays
one too. I like George Michael a lot.
George Michael.
George Michael and I have the same birthday.
I
So
remember.
so I love him. Okay, so
Gotta
back
have faith.
to the craft room. So Megan takes Will into the craft room and she says that they're gonna do kind of like a nod to British tradition, which is making crackers. And so I've actually celebrated a couple of like more British Christmases. And when I first heard of Christmas crackers, I thought that like how cookies are called biscuits, I thought crackers were going to be something sweet. So I had no idea that crackers are actually not a thing to eat. They are essentially like almost like it sounds like a firecracker. So that's where the noise, like that's where the name
Yeah.
comes from, because you pop it. And then inside there's like little toys or notes or candies. And the times that I've done crackers, they've been like basically like a popsicle joke, and then like a crack in the like a jack in the box. What do you call them? Like Cracker Jacks, like the kind of toy that'd be like in a box of Cracker Jacks. So like it's
Yeah,
like
it's
the
like a
blend
little
of two.
surprise gift. Yeah, like
Yeah, little surprise gift.
essentially, like between the Advent calendar, which is more popular in America, and then these crackers, like these are both activities that you could either do leading up to Christmas day, and then the crackers on day of Christmas. But
Well,
again,
crackers is like a thing. Yeah, crackers is what you
it's
do
like
right before you eat dinner.
yeah. And I'm
And
saying
so
like,
Megan tells.
go ahead.
Oh, and so Megan tells a story of how like everyone at the table crosses arms, they pull the crackers, and then everyone reads it. And my experience with that is everyone kind of like reading the popsicle joke out loud, going in a circle, and that's kind of like the icebreaker before you get into dinner, because everyone kind of has a corny joke to tell. Her and Will are doing crackers in a little bit of a different way. They're putting toys in for their kids, and they're making more like custom crackers, which is a very sweet way, and a lot of kind of in line with their conversation, which is about being a good hostess and not being stressed as a host, but also finding those moments that feel personal as a host. And
Yeah,
so they,
I think a really important part that they brought up in this section is, as you know, I think it's Will, right? Will, he wrote a book about hospitality, so he's an expert on that. And so he even mentions to Megan, like, there's nothing I feel worse than having like a stressed out host. And he says, I'd rather you guys just get pickup, like just go pick up a food. And like, because really why I'm here and what we're all here is to connect. And again, the focus on connection and family and the people who are important to you is like highlighted in this activity. And he is also able to like talk about why that's important. And I thought that was cool. I really want to read his book. I just found out about him today through this series. So I'll have some deep digging to do after this. But I look forward to reading more about hospitality, on a micro scale, and how cool that could be.
Well,
In
I
terms of
also
like his
ethos.
perspective on it and like what I could take from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I felt like part of that conversation that was great was that they were saying that hosting in a great way can make people feel seen. And like, how can you make people feel not only the connection, but that you see them? And I don't know, that just feels like such a warm treat. I think even if you're not actually hosting people in your home, I think just like my own personal ethos is if you can make people feel seen, you're leaving them with something that gives them like something warm. And it is in those small ways that you can just learn people and like appreciate them. This actually comes into play in a second when they start making their crackers and they're thinking about what their kids would like. And Will FaceTimes his wife, Christina, and they get on the phone. He's like, well, what would our son want? And she's like, oh, like anything that rolls with wheels. And Megan's face kind of drops because she's like, I don't know if we have anything with wheels. And the producers, like that, whip up some toy cars and they are able to save the day and put a toy car in the cracker. And I just felt like something
The
that
Christmas spirit.
yeah, it was the Christmas spirit. Like producers do nothing but save the day all the time. So like respect to the producers. They even got some camera time because they brought the holiday magic. Like it was kind of ideal. So we leave the crackers behind and now we're back in the kitchen and
A
Megan is
whole new
getting set.
segment. It's a whole new segment.
Whole new segment. And Megan is getting ready on a new day to do brunch. And we see her in her pajamas. And she almost can't even believe that she's in these PJs on camera. Like she's like, I know I'm in pajamas. Like she like makes before the segment even gets started. She calls out that she's like, I know I'm in PJs. I know you didn't assume that you would see me in PJs, but like here I am. But it's only because my friend Lindsay, since I was 17, is coming, and this is her family tradition. So I'm joining her family tradition to do brunch in pajamas. And I love that she's like saying this with an eye roll, but it's also so endearing that they're all kind of dressed the same in matching pajamas. We don't do the matching pajamas in our family though, but it's cute. Maybe I'm gonna start.
That's a bridge too far for me personally.
I'm into it. I just always
I love a
forget.
pajama set. We've talked about that. I love pajama sets, but I am not. I don't want to match. Like I'm cool with like us doing like. No, I'm not cool with that either. I just want to look. If we happen to match, that's something different. But I'm definitely here for like a PJ morning on
I'm
Christmas morning.
surprised.
We typically do that anyways. Like we usually in our family, Aaron and I, we stay with our mom and dad for the holidays, and like we bring our boys, and we wake up in the morning, we do coffee, and if we're feeling happy, we'll have a mimosa like first thing, and and that's the Christmas thing in the PJs. And then after that, we get dressed, and then we do gifts. So I think they do probably something like that over there too.
I was thinking that it's surprising that we don't match in pajamas because our parents are constantly matching. If this was an edited show, you guys would see
Yeah, clip
multiple
of
the
that.
whole screen. The whole screen would be filled with a collage of photos of our mom and dad matching. Because they literally match all of the time and for years. It's not like it's a new thing. They've been doing this for like decades of just popping out in the same outfits. And our mom has a classic line. And what does she say, Danielle?
I got dressed first, and your
I got
dad
dressed
copied
first.
me.
He
And your dad
copied me
copied me
every time, every
every
time,
time.
without fail. They've been married for 40 years. And I feel like the matching really started like 20 years ago.
The matching has
And
been
like,
at an all-time high
it's
lately.
like they,
They went to Vegas, and I'm talking trash now. They went to Vegas, and they sent us pictures of every day. And then the third day, I said, "You guys, do you have to match every day?"
it's so cute. It's so cute. I love
Wait,
it.
but then I talked trash, and then I sent the photo with KO and I was
And you
matching.
guys matched. And
And
then
then
you
I
guys
had to say,
matched.
"Well, I got dressed first."
The
It felt like I had to say that.
The matching is contagious. Do you match with your significant other? Tell us in the chat. Okay, so we are in the kitchen. Lindsay's coming. Also, Kelly is coming. And Megan is starting it off with making a Christmas star. It's cinnamon, it's dough, it's layered, it's twisted. And then she's making quiche cups. A quiche Florence, and a quiche Lorraine. But she cutely says, you got Flo and Lorraine. And Lorraine has a special voice, and I don't know why, but that's what she does, and it felt like something I would do. She then bakes some pears, and then she tells us a story that when she was in college, she used to make baked apples in the microwave. And she said, and it tastes just like a baked apple, which isn't like us for me because I bake
Yeah.
apples all the time. You just scoop them out, you add a little butter, maybe like make sometimes I'll do like some oats and cinnamon and some vanilla and blend it together and then put that on top of the apple. And it's such an easy dessert and it feels healthier. It's solid. I don't even know if baked apples or pears is healthy, but it feels like it is because it's a fruit. Uh, so then Lindsay and Kelly arrive, and Danny, as you alluded to, they eat, they
They
drink,
eat, they
and
drink.
they're not married yet. We'll
They're
get to
not married yet.
marry,
Yeah.
but no marry yet. But they eat and they drink, and then they head out to the barn to make wreaths, which is something that I really want to do.
I want to do. I want to. Should we do that
Yeah,
when you get home?
yeah, we should. That's fun.
The flower mart's down by my house. I'm sure they have something.
Yeah, I liked the idea of them making the wreaths. And so Kelly makes hers, and Lindsay makes hers, and Megan makes hers. And in this section, I think because these are such close friends of Megan, they're really just like going back and forth about like holiday traditions, what it means to them, and kind of like the depth of overall trying to make things that seem complicated but aren't. And everyone's wreaths are beautiful. And then we cut to a new segment where Megan is doing festive wrapping. And she shows a few different wrapping methods. And I'm so glad that Megan is showing us these things. It's aspirational. I personally will not be partaking in that. I'm not doing it. It's out of my scope, but I'm so happy for her. Or do you like to do wrapping papers? You actually are good at wrapping gifts.
I'm obsessed with wrapping paper. I actually have a little bit of Megan in me for this part. Like if I have friends who are actors, like I've gone and like bought like the call sheets and stuff and like wrapped gifts and call sheets. I love a matching like paper tissue thing. So I always end up having like, okay, these are all my gifts and they're all in like the same color pattern. I love bows and ribbons and yeah, this is actually a like us for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that up.
That is your like us for sure.
I
You're
love
so much
wrapping
better at
paper.
it than me. When we used to live together a billion years ago, I used to have you wrap my gifts for me. And then when I
I don't even
didn't live
remember that.
with you anymore, I had to start wrapping my own gifts. And I had a couple years where I was like, I will be Candy Spelling. I will be Kathy Hilton. I'm
It's
in
in
it.
you. It's in
And
you.
then it is
It's in
in
you.
me,
It's in
but
you.
it's just, I can't do it.
You don't like to be patient. That's why you're not patient about the gifts and the like. You're like just put it in the back, and like you have to have the calmness when with the giving, you know, with specifically the wrapping paper
I
because
think I'm
it will
so much
frustrate
of
you
a
because you have to cut it right and
I'm
it's
so
very
much of a
exact.
perfectionist. I'm a big perfectionist, and like the fact that like yeah, I don't know. I saw my calling. We're gonna learn from Megan shortly that she also doesn't have a calling, and this is where she and I are not like each other, but that's okay because it'll be all right. So we
Her
go back
calling is
into the
to be
kitchen.
wrapping paper. She's been hired to do this now.
No, that's her calling. But we
Yeah, it's
find
her
out
calling.
later when she's talking to
What you?
Naomi Osaka, who comes into the kitchen because this is the new guest and a new
I love
day.
Naomi, by the
And
way.
Megan is
Naomi
making,
Osaka, tennis great,
I
young
know,
mom,
legend,
just
legend.
legend. Also a lot taller than I thought she
That's what I was
was.
about to say. How
She's so
tall is
tall.
Naomi? She was
Um,
really tall.
I'm looking it up because I
And
was like, I know that Megan's not short.
Megan's not short. No, and Naomi was like almost as tall as Harry was. And the thing is like, I know it sounds dumb because she's a pro athlete and a tennis player at that. So obviously she has long limbs and
She's 5'11". She's real tall.
yeah, she was tall. She was a lot taller than Megan was, who's probably what, 5'6".
Yeah, something like
Um,
that.
yeah. So it reminded me, we haven't really seen that many guests that were that much taller than her. But she takes Naomi. They talk about that when Megan was in PE when she was a kid, she was so bad at throwing and catching that she didn't even get a grade. Like they said, non-applicable because she wasn't good at it. And that made me feel better because it was like, okay, Megan is not good at everything. On this show, she does seem to be good at everything, but we know that athleticism probably isn't her thing. She said no one will ever watch her play tennis because it's bad,
That is
which I thought was
so.
funny.
It was so funny. She's like, they didn't even give me a grade.
Like, hilarious. Has never
I
been
wanna see
me.
but, like, it did the opposite effect of probably what she wanted to be like, "Oh, no, it's really bad, you don't wanna see it," but now I wanna see.
Me
Now
too.
now I
In my
wanna see it.
head, she's so girly. So she's
Yeah,
like, when you see like a girly, like somebody who's super girly and they're like trying to swing or they're trying to like do things and it's just like it's the coordination's not all
yeah.
together.
You have to
That's what I
you have to
see.
be like yeah, you have to like, I think to do racket sports or baseball, there is a certain level of, like, grit because you're like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a in there, and I feel like she's just, like, so water that, like, she's just, like, and so it's probably like that.
Yeah,
I just wanna
something
see
like
it
that. It's really funny.
now.
So they get into the craft room. And by the way, because I know we sometimes call the craft room the war room, but I don't know if this was the war room
This was
any
not
of the
the war
times
room.
in
This
this
was not the
special.
war room.
We're
No, no,
consistently
no.
in like the craft barn. And they have
Proper.
the craft barn very decorated. It looks like Santa's workshop. And I just want to call that out because it was really well done. And very like aspirational and beautiful. But we learn that while they're making these cookie plates, that Megan's not athletic, but they make these plates for Santa. And Naomi's making it for her daughter, and Megan's making it for the prince and princess. And they're doing their plates and their mugs for cookies for Santa, which I think is a very adorable kind of tradition of leaving the cookies out for Santa to eat later on.
I
And
think it's
it
so cute too.
it's really cute. And in this section, like Naomi's kind of like, I'm not artistic at all. So she talks about that she does, which I didn't know, that she creates her own
See,
designs.
I knew this, and that's I was like, that's kind of counteractive, because I looked at her designs, and it's not like it was like she was just doing like the outlines or the shapes. Like she's creating like embellishments and like appliques and like like there was detail within those outfits. So I thought it was kind of funny that she had marketed herself as not creative.
But
Um,
this is a reoccurring theme on this show is
yeah,
Megan surrounds herself and all of her guests are very type A successful people. So everyone thinks
yeah.
if they're not the best at a thing, they're not good at it at all. And I like
The cup
us.
was so cute. The plate was cute. They
Well, and
ended up
she wrote
making
in
it for
Japanese, which I thought was really
yeah.
pretty. And then Megan's cup was the cutest cup. It was like, Dear Santa, I've been really good all year. Archie and Lily, like that was so cute. Like that
I
was the
love
cutest
that
mug.
Naomi also was like she like, yeah, so I see you're writing again. Because Megan, instead of doing a design, she decides to like write the letter to from Santa to Archie and Lilibet. And Naomi's like, that's kind of cheating. And I love
Her
and Megan
writing is
kind of
really
giggles
good.
and is like Megan's like, fair, you gotta go with what you know.
Her
Um,
writing is good.
I also
Well,
love that
okay,
Naomi
so
is naming it for her daughter Shy, Shy, and I thought that was very sweet.
she makes a whip. She's like, shy is not shy, which is funny
Yeah,
because Naomi comes across as very shy. So I thought that was funny that she said that because I feel
I
like
feel
that's
like non
how it
sequitur
goes.
though. I feel like the moms that are chill, they have like these loud kids, and then like the moms. I feel like that always happens. Only
Yeah,
exception is this. Our mom is equally as chatty as us.
when I tell people sometimes I'm the least chatty person in my family and no one believes me, but it's true.
I don't think that's true. That's not true.
It is true. Okay, so
I think you have the crown, Aaron.
then we move to Tom Colicchio
Tom
of Top
Colicchio,
Chef.
yes,
Of Top Chef. He's
yes.
a James Beard winner. He's an author. I always leave the pronunciation to you because you're better at it than me. Megan starts with creating a French 75 because she shows that Tom really likes ginger. And she's talking to the camera operator and he's like, okay, well, what's the ratio for the drink? And she says, it's a 2-1-3 ratio, which is my first area code, which is a very LA old school area code at that. We are
It
909,
is
909 with pride.
909,
But
909.
Megan being from the 213 says a lot. So then Tom comes in
They don't
and
even give out a lot of 818 or 213 area codes anymore. Like it's
I don't think
almost
they're available. Yeah, I think they're gone.
yeah, like it's
It's
basically
hard to even
impossible.
get 310.
Dang.
Yeah, those are gone too. So Tom comes in and he says that he has Italian American heritage. And so in their tradition, it's the Feast of the Seven Fishes, which comes with a beet salad. And he like lists all these
So
ingredients in the
good.
salad. And as he's going through all the ingredients of the salad, Megan is
Which
like
is like
chuckling to herself.
parsley, lemon, black olives, green olives. Um, Everything's kind of feeling like Mediterranean, right?
But Megan's giggling and she's like, I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard because everything that's in this salad, Harry hates. And Harry being in the anti beet is an agenda I can get behind. I hate beets, and I love that. Like I don't want to eat beets. I don't want to eat black olives. Like that whole salad was also not for me. And so to me, I was like, oh, Harry, like us, I also hate all of these things. That salad, I don't even want to look at it, but I'm glad that they made it. I'm glad that the colors looked Christmassy, and I'm glad that it means something to Tom and his family.
I think
You
you would
know,
like the salad. I don't like the beets of the salad. That's definitely where you get me wrong. But what I would do if I were making this, I would sub it out for red cabbage, and it would be just as amazing.
anyway, they also cook cod. Which
You
looks
don't like a nice Mediterranean salad with like olives and lemons and
I don't
parsley
want to
and
eat.
garlic?
I don't want to eat olives.
Oh,
I don't want to eat olives. The only thing worse than beets and olives is like corn. Like all of those things. I don't want any of them. So they get into cooking. They get into cooking cod, and Tom shares that when cooking cod, there's really no way to really make it. It's just like what makes it look flaky and delicious. And then they go from making cod into making gumbo. And I felt like the gumbo was also a very big like us
like
for us.
us. Huge
That
like
was
us.
probably the biggest like us.
Yeah.
And so Megan says that this gumbo is from her family's mom's recipe. She has southern roots in Tennessee, from Chattanooga. And so she starts getting into doing the roux, and it has this sausage, and it has all of these like little. Oh, it looks so good. I love gumbo. And we've
Me
done family
too.
gumbo. We've done family gumbo. Gumbo is such like a mainstay family tradition because everyone can kind of bring something. Everyone can kind of throw stuff in the pot. The pot is huge. People can come and scoop up, and everyone can come and go.
Keep
It's
it
just like,
going. Keep
uh,
going.
perfect for the holidays.
I was so lucky this weekend. My in-laws sent over a pot of gumbo with a bunch of crab claws in it for me.
Yum.
That was so sweet. They did that post thing. They did it like on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, which was a great treat. But I love incorporating gumbo as a holiday tradition because it is for a lot of African Americans across the diaspora. It has, roots that reach into West Africa, obviously Louisiana. But then also, I wanted to share with you guys, I have a book called Jubilee. And this is written by Toni Tipton Martin. And basically, it's 2 centuries of African American cooking. And what she did through her study of this is she took all of the popular recipes from African Americans across the United States and parts of I think a little bit parts of the Caribbean as well. And she saw what they made, how they made it, and then kind of like came up with this version that would be like the standardized version for everyone else to be able to make this and prepare it. So Megan's recipe actually is pretty true to the roots, if you will, like the original ingredients from the first recipes, but then also like incorporated some of the new stuff. So like Harry didn't like sausage, or Harry didn't like shrimp. So she decided to throw that in afterwards, after he got his bowl. And I thought that was really cool. I'm
What
into the
are
gumbo
what are
as
some
well.
of like
We
the
asked,
what are some of the
we
key
asked
ingredients into a gumbo?
gumbo. All right, let me pull it up for you. 1 second. Okay, for this particular gumbo, the key ingredients are for a seafood gumbo, right? So you want to do vegetable oil, flour, and butter to do, the flour for the roux, onion, green onions, bell pepper, celery, minced garlic, scotch bonnet, thyme, salt, black pepper, cayenne, chicken stock, bay leaf, frozen
Yeah.
okra, shrimp, oysters, which our family doesn't do the oysters in ours. But I've
Are
had
you
other
reading the
people
whole
who do.
recipe or just the
No,
key
it's so
ingredients?
long. It's so long. But this is what is a standardized. It's a stew. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
rest. There's a lot of ingredients in it, and then probably the most common one everyone likes in America is doing like the crab meat
Mm-hmm.
included, and then top of parsley. So,
I thought
but
it
yeah,
was
this is
cute
really
because
good book for
as they're making the gumbo, we get a Harry sighting, and now we are now
yeah.
eating, drinking, and being merry because Mary is here. And in this, Harry comes into the kitchen and he eats, like you said, Megan cooks him a version on the side that doesn't have the seafood in it. Because as we've learned in other episodes, Harry is anti seafood. And so, or at least like he doesn't like shrimp and crab and things like that. So Megan makes him a bowl and he eats it and he goes, "Your mom's is better." And she's like, "Ah," but like also, we
Oh,
love a guy.
I love that. It's so cute.
No, I know a guy who's like just charming his mother-in-law, like is a big like us. Like Nathaniel always tells mom, like, "Oh my god, you have the best hair. You have the best hair." Like it's just like you kind of need like a son-in-law that's gonna hype you. And I love that Harry is that for Megan's mom.
I love it also because, the absence of his mother, I'm sure, and Megan seems so close to her mom. I'm sure it's a very comfort person for him.
Yeah,
And
totally.
I
Well,
and I
she's
love,
making him
yeah,
special food. Like that,
yeah,
what? That gives even sharing that she makes his own version of gumbo on the side is like that's spoiled baby. Like she's like, "Oh baby, let me help you. You can have
that
your
is
own thing." Like
that's right. As the
that
allergy
feel
baby or the person that doesn't like random things put in there, sometimes I'm like, you know what? No cheese. Make mine first.
exactly, exactly. So I loved
I
knowing
can't even
that.
say anything because I also like I said, I just got gumbo from my in-laws on Saturday. So
I'm literally at
uh,
my in-laws' place as we speak. So good in-laws like us.
like us.
Well, so once they eat the gumbo, that's kind of the end of the holiday special. We get a quick little recap of all the guests, all the things that they made. Megan celebrates the holidays with the crew. They do a glass, a little toast. And so, Danny, for you, what were your likes us this episode?
All right, I love the pajamas. I told you guys I love a pajama set. I love that she included parts of her culture into this episode with regards to like the gumbo adding because her family's from Tennessee. She shows the Tennessee version of gumbo, which it looked really good. And I loved that Harry was there. I love a Mary sighting. I think they're very adorable. Also, it feels a little uncanny when I catch Harry on screen sometimes. I was watching also his interviews with Hassan Minaj, which were so funny. And I think I'm ready to see more content where they're able to be themselves because the last couple months have been really good taste tests of it. And I think that the content that they should make should be buttoned up for sure. But like, I love it. I also am enjoying the idea that Megan's focusing on connections for the holiday. Things like the crackers where you can spark a conversation from them. But then also like, taking time to like make a little treat for someone special, like Harry or when Will came and she made those for Will. And I think that those are things we need to be paying more attention to at this time of the year. It's a lot of stress for people. Some people are sad this time of year because they don't have families and or they don't have people around that were, they just have memories of things that are gone. And it can be really triggering for a lot of people. But just remembering that no one's going to stop us from loving each other and keeping the connection close is keeping your connections is the most important. And so I'm glad that this show was very light, but it highlighted something that is an important message. And I think that's what Megan's been doing throughout this whole series to put a button on that.
Yeah, I think that's true. I mean, for me, between the Christmas crackers and the wreath decorating and the little snacks in between, to me, the biggest like us was Megan's clear affinity for wanting to create joy, wanting to create joy around the holidays, and really leaning into family traditions, but then also being aware that traditions don't start unless you start them. And so
Yes,
we're always leaning into creating new ones. And we started off the show with me talking about old traditions like singing Christmas songs and setting up the tree, and new traditions like going to Disneyland, which is a new one for us. And I think that being able to know that if you feel like the traditions you have are not ones that you want, or if you want to make new ones, like all it takes is just starting. And once you
yeah,
start and make a commitment that this is a thing that you would like to have happen again, or maybe you don't even know it's going to be a tradition. Maybe you just do something, you make an advent calendar and you're like, wow, that was so fun. Now I want to do that every single year. I want to make puppy chow, rainbow or reindeer chow every year. Like you don't know where
so,
that starts, but you just
yeah.
have to start it. And once you do, then you're off to the races. And so I felt like that was a really just poignant message that existed kind of as a through line through all of these different segments with all of these guests, which was just like start your traditions, create connections, and find joy over the holiday season.
I thought it was so cute. I'm still thinking about the Naomi Osaka Megan little section in the art room when they're painting those plates for Santa, and how like even just a physical thing can become a part of a tradition. So give those ornaments, give those little cookie plates, those things that are holiday-ish or whatever. They last. People keep them. And that could be a part of your friends or family's traditions moving on. And I think that that's really special. Well,
100%.
was there anything else you wanted to chat about, Erin? What's going on in the chat? What's everybody doing? Oh, I
So
see
we So
quality gift
mom,
wrapping is a very good skill to have.
Darcel Jones Wesley says she's buying pajamas for everybody this year.
Okay.
So get ready for like us photos. Send us, tag us in your family pajama photos. We want to see them. And then we also have Nathaniel who says quality gift wrapping is a very good skill to have. It's one that I don't know if I will ever have, but I will keep trying. And then Lydia is just creating community, talking to everyone in the chat. So it's been awesome to see. We're so glad that everyone's been able to be here, be supportive of the show, and join our live stream. But this will be on demand, available to watch. So if you didn't catch it live and you're joining us later, make sure to share that you're watching, tag us. We love to see when you guys DM us, send us messages. It means so much. So we're
Yeah.
happy that you are following us on @LikeUsPod on all socials.
We have actually also 2 more episodes to wrap up this series. So stay tuned to the YouTube. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, hitting that alerts button so you know when the new video drops. And then Erin and I are going to take a little break for a little bit, and then we're going to come back in the new year. And we are so excited to start this conversation over. We don't know what we're going to be talking about. It might be Megan, it might not. But watch this space so we can fill you in on what's going on. And again, thank you so much for being a part of this project, watching and interacting, commenting, subscribing. And yeah, let's talk on social. So hit us up on up over there.
And we're so happy and excited to see everyone that is like us.
Yeah.
Which we've
All right.
learned looks like a lot of different things.
What do you mean?
Like us is it's a feeling. It's not necessarily you don't have to live in California to be like us. We have
No.
fans and people listening all over the world. You don't have to be a
Yeah.
black girl to be like us. We have people that look
No.
like all shapes, sizes, colors. You don't
Everybody's
have to
welcome.
do any of like I think the thing that is like us is just our ability to want to find connection in all things. And when you're looking for connection, you can find it. And I feel like that is like the key through line of like us and relatability is finding those human qualities that connect us all. So it's been really fun
I
to
agree.
do that deep dive with Megan. And maybe there's other people who might also be like us.
Yeah, there might be. And again, yeah, like us, it's definitely more of an ideology. And really it's like a heart posture, if you will, is what I would probably describe it as. It's right. It's the person that wants connection. It's the person that knows that we need to spend some time in our own communities, like giving back and loving each other. And also like we just like to have a good time. We like champagne. We like to, enjoy a good book. We like vacationing. We like traveling. And as we develop more of this like us, you will see how exactly you probably are exactly like us as well. And that's the whole point of the show. So thank you again for watching. And I actually think Erin and I are going to sign out. I think that's a wrap for the Christmas
Yeah,
special. What do
make
you
sure
say?
you're following us on our socials. She's at DS for Danny. I'm at Erin Jones Wesley. And we'll see you on the internet.
Yeah, see you online. Bye.
Bye.